This is a certified hood classic.
Hello, neighbor. December 8th, 2017, in a small town called Ravenbrooks, there was a man named Theodore Masters Peterson, age 51, and is seen shoving his child, Aaron Peterson, into the basement, with no given reason when looking at it with normal eyes. Young Nicky Roth, age 13 at the time, becomes curious and starts to investigate, breaking into Peterson's house in search of clues, but in the end gets kidnapped and shoved into the basement too. With no news from the issue from both Hello Neighbor's very real in-game Twitter and Reddit at the time, and news channels oblivious to the topic. I'm talking about you, CBC, you're not slick at all. It was not until later that day when news reports of videos of Nicky running away from Peterson's house covered in bandages and crying began to surface on the web. Today, January 2026, I have gotten in touch with Nicky, and I have touched Nicky, and I've heard the full story, and I will be sharing it with you today. Kudos to Mr. Kool-Aid, aka the guy making the Hello Neighbor iceberg. Where is it, Bob? I'm waiting for some background knowledge on the subject. Now let's begin with the video. Shabalagoo, boyoyoyoyoing. While not explained, Nicky told me he has experienced significant trauma from being locked in the basement, suffering from PTSD and a deep sense of guilt. It is said that Nicky's curiosity about Peterson led him into the house in search of clues, in which he ends up opening the door to the basement where he saw a fake room, likely the room Aaron, aka Mr. Peterson's son, had to stay in when he was in the basement, as well as a door with many key locks on it. However, before Nicky could do anything with this information, Mr. Peterson captured him and threw him into a fake room with a mattress and fake windows, showing a neighborhood landscape, clearly mimicking the outside world, leaving Nicky alone and starving. While Nicky didn't want to talk about it at first, he did mention this. The door that exited the room ended up getting unlocked. Nicky explained that Aaron had managed to escape and unlock the door, allowing Nicky to escape through the ventilation and out the root cellar door outside. Looking around, he mentions there being a big wooden fence covered in chicken wire, clearly meant to keep him in. While Mr. Peterson's house is shown to be much bigger in size, unknown if Peterson ever had a building permit in order to actually add these modifications to his house. He told me he escaped the house by stacking boxes and using a trampoline in the corner of the area to jump over the wall and escape, later telling the authorities what happened, causing Peterson to flee with Aaron to the museum to hide. After 19 years, 19 goddamn Hello Neighbor years, Nicky moved outside of Ravenbrooks to live in an apartment in the big fancy city. However, he got evicted and is very low on cash money dollar, causing him to pack up and move to only one place he could stay, even if he doesn't want to, being his old house in Ravenbrooks. He noted that once he arrived, he had weird feelings. He tried to shrug it off, but he couldn't escape his trauma. The memories of this town haunt him. He said to me that he tried to lay down on his couch and nap it off, to where he woke up in a lucid, dreamlike state where the neighbor's abandoned house has grown in size by what I can assume about yay big, with a giant windmill on the top. He notes that the paintings inside the neighbor's house had eyes and features that looked just like Peterson's, saying that he felt like the paintings were watching him, and noting that the giant house he saw, but he found something he wasn't expecting. He states that he's been transported to a white void with a giant Peterson, symbolizing the last obstacle he has to overcome being the wrath of Peterson. When describing Peterson in his dream, he mentions there was a giant house on his back. He looked like the hunchback of Notre Dame. He enters this house after knocking Mr. Peterson to the ground with his epic gamer skills, and uses a nearby room to block his fears of Peterson from a child version of Nicky, making himself stronger and bigger in the process, allowing him to overcome his fears. He states he quote-unquote locked away Peterson, allowing him to overcome his issues, but leaving Peterson with his own problems, boo-hoo, which he said he never overcame, having to live with it forever. 2 Nicky is said to be living a normal life, living in his old house with a stable job. I think. Nicky kind of just ran off and blocked me and my team, being myself and I, on all social media apps. Yeah, even Facebook, whatever old fart uses Facebook. And now, who am I supposed to send Instagram Reels to? My friend Kool-Aid? Boring! Wah wah! And with that being said, I think I've said enough. I'm afraid to talk about their game too much. Their Twitter account will probably start spamming me, telling me to do a deep dive like how they did with MatPat that one time. So thank you guys for watching, and hit the like and subscribe to never miss another upload from the Hag channel. Goodbye, neighbors.
Hold up.
The boy wants it from a punk to a pompadour.
Yeah.
Don't